Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to video lecture series for course number 404, Map Work and Field Surveying. In this video, we will discuss conical projection with two standard parallels. In our previous video lecture, we have discussed what a projection is, what a conical projection is, and what a standard parallel is. So here I'll discuss these three terminologies in very brief terms. Projection is the method of converting the three-dimensional Earth onto a two-dimensional map, and conical projection is a projection in which we use the paper or the map surface by folding it as a cone. And standard parallel is the touching point between the cone and the globe. For better understanding of the standard parallel, you can check out my video from the card over here. This card looks like a popping strip which will appear here. So you can click on that strip to check out my conical projection with one standard parallel video. So the question which is given for conical projection with two standard parallels is draw a conical projection with two standard parallels for an area bound between 10 degrees north to 70 degrees north latitude parallel and 20 degree west to 60 degree east longitude meridian using RF 1:125 million with 6 zeros and projection interval of 10 degrees. So these are the elements which are required for the construction of any projection, especially conical projection with two standard parallels. Now let's begin with the solution of this question and the construction of the projection. So for any projection we need to do the calculations first. So the first calculation is to find out the reduced radius, the radius which will be used to construct the circle on the paper which will be denoting the Earth. So reduced radius is found by the formula actual radius of Earth divided by the ground value of representative fraction, and the ground value is 125 million while actual radius of the Earth is 250 million inches, or in terms of centimeter it's 635 million centimeters. I am using the inch unit for this construction. So here after dividing the actual radius with ground value we got 2 inches as the reduced radius. Now next step is to make a list of parallels according to the range given and according to the interval given. So the range was from 10 degree north to 70 degree north and the interval was 10. So we have made a list of parallels starting from 10 degrees, and I have made it vertical because the parallels are placed vertically one above the other on the projection. So starting from the bottom we have 10 degree north, then 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 70 degree north. Then after making the list we decide the standard parallels, because this projection is the standard parallel, the conical projection with two standard parallels. So here we will be needing two values, and again sometimes the standard parallels are written in the question. In that case it's very easy to just identify those standard parallels, but if the standard parallels are not written in the question, we have a certain formula, and that is that we keep 40% of the parallels outside the standard parallel range. Like here we have 7 values. So out of these 7 values we have kept roughly 40%, not exactly 40%, but roughly 40% of the parallels are kept outside. So here I have kept 2 values outside this standard parallel range and then 2 values outside the lower standard parallel names, and then in between we have 3 values. So this is the rough division, like 40% on the outer side of both the standard parallels, and then roughly 50 to 60% area lying in between the standard parallels, and then we name the 2 standard parallels as SP1 and SP2. So it's not necessary to name the bottom one as SP1. You can either call this as SP1 or this as SP2. It doesn't make much difference. But since I'm taking the reference from the equator, that's why I have given the value which comes first as SP1 and the value which comes later as SP2, standard parallel 2. Next step is to find out the central meridian, and again for finding out the central meridian we need to make a list of all possible meridians in this projection using the interval. So the interval was 10 degrees, so starting from the range which starts from 20 degree west to 60 degree east, I have made the list of all possible meridians. So 20, then 10, then 0, then 10 degree east, and so on and so forth. After making the list of all the meridians, we find out the middle value for central meridian. So this is the middle value right here, and if we see towards the left we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 values, and towards the right we have 1, 2, 3, 4 values. And central meridian is the line along which we mark all the parallels while constructing the projection. After all these calculation work, we come towards the construction phase, and construction of two standard parallel conical projection is done in three bases. First, we make the projection base in the form of a circle, and that circle actually shows the earth on a paper, and after that circle we make another sketch to find out the pole location, and then in the third place we make the actual projection. So for the construction of base we need to draw the circle of reduced radius which was calculated in step 1. So this was the reduced radius calculated, 2 inches. Now we will see how this circle will be constructed. So opening an arc of 2 inches using scale and pair of compasses, we make the circle of 2-inch radius. So that's how the circle will be drawn. Next step is to mark a quadrant in the circle by making a horizontal line which will be the equator, and by making a vertical line which will be the North Pole. So here's how it is done. From the center to the circumference of the circle we will make a horizontal line, and that line will be the equator, and we will label the center as C and the outer point as E for equator. Similarly, by making the vertical line at an angle of 90 degrees, we will make another line, the vertical line, and that line will be for the pole. We can use set square instead of the protractor because we need 90-degree angle. So this vertical line is for the pole, and the top of this line will be written as N, and for North Pole. Next step is to mark 3 angles within the quadrant we have just made, and the 3 angles will be for the interval, projection interval, which was 10 degrees, and 2 angles will be drawn for the standard parallels. So 10 degrees for the interval, and then 30 degrees for standard parallel 1, and 50 degrees for standard parallel 2. So now let's see how these 3 angles will be made. So using the angle and the standard parallels and the protractor, we will mark 3 angles. The 10 degree for the interval over here, 10 degrees marking, and then 50 degrees for standard parallel 2 and 30 degrees for standard parallel 1. And now we will join these angles to the center. The first one and the second one for standard parallel 1, 30 degrees, and the third one for standard parallel 2, that is 50 degrees. And now we will label these. First one is interval, so it will be named as I. Just for the convenience, you can label it as something else as well if you like. This is for S2, 50 degrees one, standard parallel 2, and the 30 degrees one will be named as S1. Next step is to mark a small quadrant from the center C by using the radius equals to the distance between E and I. So let's see how it is done. So we will open an arc, open a radius equals to EI, keeping the compass at C. We will make a small quadrant. This is a small quadrant. Next step is to draw two lines perpendicular to the CN line, the vertical line, the pole line, and those two perpendicular will touch the new smaller quadrant where it is touching standard parallel 1, and another point where it will be touching standard parallel 2, and these two lines will be parallel to the line CE, the horizontal equator line. So let's see how it will be done. So here we are using the set square to make perpendicular, keeping it on CN. We are drawing the line to meet the point where the quadrant is touching C, the standard parallel 1, this tiny little orange line over here. And then we will draw another line where CN will touch the quadrant along standard parallel 2, this one. So we will name the top one as X and Y, the standard parallel 2 meeting point, and the CN. Then we will name the second one as A and B. So this orange line AB is perpendicular to this CN line, and AB is meeting the little quadrant and standard parallel 1, while this pink line XY is perpendicular to CN, and this line is meeting the little quadrant with standard parallel 2. So here you can see the new labels. The distance between I and E will be used for parallel distance, and these two lines, the XY and AB, these both lines will be used as meridian distances along a standard parallel 1 and along a standard parallel 2. So this was the first phase of the projection construction. Now we will begin with the second phase. Now we have to draw the section 2 of the projection base, and for that, first thing we have to do is to draw a vertical line of any length. To be safe, keep the length of the vertical line slightly larger than the diameter of the circle. And then towards the lower end of that line, mark a point and name that point as A dash. And that point will actually be representing standard parallel 1. So here we are making a vertical line, and towards the bottom we will mark a point and we will name it as A dash. Now using an arc equals to EI in the section 1 of projection base, we will mark the parallel distances along the new vertical line, and we will mark all the parallels between SP1 and SP2. We will start marking the parallels from A dash. So we can refer to the step 2 list that how many markings we have to do. So A dash point was for the SP1, and then we have 40 degrees and then 50 degrees. So we have to mark 2 parallels along that vertical line. And we will name the marking of SP2 as X dash. So here we are taking a distance of EI and marking the parallels along this vertical line. So the top one is standard parallel 2, so we will name it as X dash. Next step is to draw 2 perpendicular lines from A dash and X dash. Since we are making perpendicular lines, so we are using set square for that, and we are making perpendicular line to that vertical one from A dash and then from X dash. Now we have to mark 2 points along the two little perpendicular lines, and the distance of the points will be equals to AB in the circle for the line which touches A dash, and we will name that new point as B dash. Similarly, we will take another arc equals to XY, and we will mark a point Y dash keeping the compass as at X dash. So let's see how this is done. So using an arc equals to AB, we will keep the compass at A dash, and we will mark another point and we will name it as B dash. Similarly, opening an arc equals to XY, we will mark another point and that will be named as Y dash. Now if you notice that this line, the X dash, Y dash and the XY line in the circle, I have kept the colors similar just to make it easier to understand that the length of this X dash, Y dash and X and Y will be equal. Similarly, the A dash, B dash and AB will have similar length. And this is the reason I have kept the name as A dash, B dash and X dash, Y dash, just to make it similar, since we cannot have same name for two diagrams within the same projection. That's why we have just made the dash name. Now we will join point B dash and Y dash and extend that line to meet the vertical line, and that new intersection point will be called as P. So B dash and Y dash, we will keep the ruler and try to join those lines, those points, and the point of intersection will be named as P. It got a bit messy here at the point P. Because of the markers I cannot clean up the mess, but with pencil we have the freedom to clean up any mess if we make. So that was the construction of projection base section 1 and section 2. Now we will start the construction of actual projection, and as usual for conical projection we will draw a vertical line in the center of the page, and then we will mark the top of the line as P. So we will make a vertical line. After at the top we will label it as P. Now we will make the two standard parallels in the shape of an arc, and the radius of the two arcs will be taken from the projection base section 2. One arc will be equals to Px dash, the other arc will be equals to Pa dash. Px dash will be for standard parallel 2 and Pa dash will be for standard parallel 1. So here we are taking an arc equals to Pa dash, and with that arc we will make our standard parallel 1, and remember to label the standard parallel immediately so that you don't forget. SP1 and the value is 30 degree as shown here. North. Now we will take an arc equals to Px dash for standard parallel 2. Here after making the arc we will label it as SP2 and the value from the list it's 50 degree north. Now the next step is to mark the parallel distances along the central meridian, and that distance will be marked using the EI distance in the projection base part 1. And to find out how many parallels to be made, you can refer to step number 2. So here in step number 2 we see we have already drawn SP2 and SP1. So above SP2 we will mark 2 intervals for parallels. Between the SPs we have 1 parallel, and below the 30 degree or the SP1 we have 2 parallels. So by taking distance between E and I, we are marking the parallels along the central meridian, 2 above the SP2, 1 in between the standard parallels, and 2 below SP1. So after marking the parallel distances, we will make arcs for all the distance, keeping P as center. And to label the parallel, we can refer to step number 2 list again. So keeping P as center, we will make arcs for the parallels from here again. After drawing the arcs, we will label the arcs according to the list in step number 2. Here I have already written all the meridians, all the parallels here. So the next step will be to mark the meridian distances along the standard parallel 1, and the distance will be taken by AB distance in projection base 1. And to know how many meridians to be drawn, we can refer to step number 3. So here is the list of meridians. We have already drawn the central meridian, so to the left of central meridian we will make 4 meridian distances, and to the right we will make 4 more. We will take the distance between A and B and start marking the meridians along the standard parallel 1. That's how the marking will be done. In the next step, we will mark the meridian distances along standard parallel 2 in the similar manner as we have done for standard parallel 1, but this time the distance will be equal to xy in projection base 1, and again we can check out how many meridians to draw from step number 3. Taking the distance equals to xy as shown over here, we will mark the distances along standard parallel 2. In the final step, we will connect the markings on standard parallel 1 with the markings of standard parallel 2 and with the P. So we will try to connect these 3 points for each and every meridian distances, and then in the end we will label the meridians according to the list from step number 3. So as you can see here, we are connecting the P pole with the marking on standard parallel 2 and standard parallel 1, and we will make meridians after joining these 3 points. Similarly, we will connect the other meridian points with P. Now we are labeling the meridians. So with that, our projection, the conical projection with 2 standard parallels, is completed. So that's all for this video lecture. We will see you in our next video lecture. Till then, thank you very much.